Hey, relax. You're safe.
How sure are you about it? The threat has gone too far. Will they ever stop?
The more reason why we should fight back. We've come this far. Nothing will happen to you.
This seems to be quite a process and quite a project though.
So, how long are these kids going to continue playing our field?
She will learn the hard way now. Fast.
En wat van die seun?
I know many ways to kill two birds with one stone.
Now, from a diversified group of Africans, this artwork has been crafted from Africa for Africans through a global standardized lens. We now talk to the executive producer, Simon Neonga, and the director of Oshoveli, who is Oshoveli Shipoh, who is right here with me in the studio on Swim Against the Tide. Gentlemen, good evening to both of you, and thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Good evening, Sonia. It's such a pleasure to be here.
Simon, you can hear us?
Good evening. I'm happy to be pretty well.
Well,
good evening, and I'm delighted to be here.
Thank you so much, Simon. I don't know who to start with, but talk to us about the storyline of the movie. We just saw the movie that we just saw now, the trailer earlier on. And, it left us with a bit of suspense.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, yes, Sonia, what you saw there was actually the teaser. Mm-hmm. It was just to give you a glimpse into the story that we are trying to do. Swim Against the Tide is a very exciting story. I'll just give a brief summary and then Simon can go into it. Right. But basically from the top, Swim Against the Tide, it follows the journey of a young man who comes across a mysterious suicide article in a newspaper. And that sparks a campaign movement to seek justice and expose, the truths of a series of events that have been happening to people and expose that to the world, So I'm quite excited about it, and I'm sure Simon can elaborate a bit more on that.
Yes, please, Simon, talk to us.
Yes, well, like Oshoveli has alluded, it's basically what I have said. And to just add on to that is, look, like the title speaks for itself, Swim Against the Tide. That means we are tackling our problems, our contemporary issues head on. We're not going to turn back and run, but we have to face and fight. So what it entails through now and things that we cannot ignore. Some of them are quite so not good to talk about, but we ought to write about them. So actually what this film is more about is that we are trying to write our own scars on the wall, and we sell the story or the artwork to the public.
Right. So who all did you work with on this film?
Well, we are still working on the film, actually. It's still in production, in the early phases of production, actually. Just from the top, Simon, who's involved now, he's the first person that I got to work with on this. And then other local names who have confirmed to be already part of the film, like Ralph Ball and Peter Grief and Sandra Schulz, as well as Simon himself, you know. And there will be more that will be adding to the cast list. You know, we will have an audition call out quite soon to complete our cast of the film. So yeah, it's exciting times, but we are not done yet.
Obviously. Well, Simon, as the executive producer, what do you estimate the, the duration of the whole film to be? How long will it take to film this?
No. Of course, this is quite a project. However, if everything goes according to plans, of which I do 100% believe that everything will go according to the plans, nothing will ever block us. Plus minus 6 weeks will be done. And then after that, the post-production phase kicks in, which entails of a lot of work and a lot of touching and polishing and all these kind of things. So, but we cool. Within few weeks, we are going to speak to you again when we have the product ready to be entertaining the audience.
So let's talk about the Namibian film industry. Do you both think that the film industry in Namibia gets the due recognition that it deserves?
Yes and no, you know. Yes, because look, as an industry, right, we are quite small, but we have proven that we can tell amazing stories to the world. We have proven that we can shoot quality, top of the range films. Right. And we have also proven that we can win international awards, you know. Mm-hmm. But if you look at how the industry works, I mean, right now it's a numbers game, all right? And that numbers game usually affects things like sustainability, you know. So for us, it's like we can create films, we create stories, but then to sustain viewership or just the whole distribution aspect of it. You get so many people asking, hey, cool, we shot this Namibian film, but where can we actually watch it? I mean, the last time we saw it was just inside a cinema, but where are Namibian films and stuff? So we do need a lot more streaming opportunities where our films are available to view 24/7, you know. And this is why I was very pleased with the initiative that came out last year with MultiChoice and NBC with Mnet in partnership, where they had the 13 films and stories being told by 13 productions across the country for that sustainability, which I'm talking about in terms of distribution. So we now have a platform where once the films are ready for viewing, at least there's a place where our films can be viewed anytime, anywhere. And so we need more of those platforms. It's especially since the world is going into streaming now. You know, you have the Netflixes, you have the Amazon Primes, you have so many Canal Plus, you know, in France. You have so many platforms now. So we need to actually be recognized more and appear on these platforms. So, yeah.
Well, Simon, what is your take? I mean, is the Namibian film industry getting its due recognition?
Well, retrospectively, yes, we as a country have been 1, 2, 3 steps ahead again. And then I feel that due to the volume of talent that we have at home and the technicality and all those ingredients that are needed to make up a good film that we have, I feel that there is still a bit of a vacuum, that we need a lot of different stakeholders to be on board in terms of now our film industry. So not really, I am saying I am satisfied 70%, which still needs to cater for the 30%. However, the swim against tide is a game changer. We are going to exactly cater for that remaining 30% I'm referring to here.
So what do you guys believe needs to take place for local films to be viewed in Namibia's cinemas? I mean, we are slowly gaining that traction of having our movies premiere on the big screens in the cinema. What needs to be done then?
You know, it's not a very difficult thing to actually have a local film play in the cinemas. It really comes down to two things. It's budget and marketing. You see, with the cinema houses, right, they look for traction. They see which films in the industry are actually creating buzz in order for that invitation to be open. So you really need to market your film quite well and quite nicely. And then once you get to that stage where you do decide you want to play it in the cinema, it's no longer just enough to have a one-night premiere where it's just playing for one night. I mean, your film should be having a cycle where it's in the cinemas for maybe 7 days or more, and it really all comes to budget and agreement between your production and the cinema house. And then of course the quality control, you know, you can't just shoot a film and then you take it straight to the cinemas. It has to go through quality control checks.
Right.
You have to convert the film to TCP, and you know, so there's lots of steps that one has to go. But I think consistency and proper budgeting and marketing will allow your film to at least have a fair screen time, you know, inside the cinema for a few days, if you just really plan it properly. But the quality also has to at least match, you know. So,
Well, Simon, talk to us. What needs to take place?
Well, I think Oshoveli has said it very well. And what I'm going to do is actually just a bit of a repetition of what he has said already.
Right.
Then I'll put a quality on top of their game. It should be well articulative artwork, educative, which is which has been produced based on standardized global lens. So something we don't want people, the public is not looking for mediocre. We're looking for something good, something new, you know, something entertaining, something educating. So I think we are now heading into this. We are actually into the trajectory. We are about to reach our destinations. And I'm sure within a very few months, this question will be answering itself, because once we deliver the swim against the tide, you are not going to be asking me this type of a question.
Well, just before I let you guys go, you did say that you are going to make a call out for, you know, for crew,
auditions,
for auditions, yes.
and also for crew as well.
For crew as well. How do people go about? Where is the announcement going to be made? So that I'm sure there are people who are already waiting for the announcement to be made. Where should they listen out for this announcement? And
All right. Yeah, so the public needs to follow our social media pages.
Right.
We have a Facebook page and an Instagram page. Both are named, you know, Swim Against the Tide. And then for for Instagram, it's Swim Against the Tide movie. So once you go on there, like and follow our page, so that you can be updated with information that comes there. I mean, we post almost every day. We update the sites every day with new content, new information, and yeah, so the call outs will be made there.
Great.
Yeah.
Simon, was there something that you wanted to add about the auditions, perhaps, or the crew the type of crew that you are looking for?
No, what I want to talk about is basically that for anyone that is willing to be part of this project, do not hold yourself. Once the call out has been, released, please do submit. And I want all the artists, all the crew members in waiting to know that for as long as the physiological needs must be met, we ought to work whatever way it is. Imagine doing something that you love, and again you are generating an income. Not only probably a once-off income, but a career that you might be venturing into. So I'm very, very much happy for this project.
Okay, Simon, thank you so much for joining us. Obviously, you are joining us via Zoom, and also Director Oshoveli, thank you so much, and we wish you all the best in your movie.
Thank you, Soini, for having me and for having Simon. Thank you for having us. We are really happy, and we are very excited, like I said, to bring you a new movie to the Namibian landscape, so it can only get better from here.
Yeah, we are very excited. We are very excited for Swim Against the Tide. The two people working on that show right now, producer Simon Neonga and also Oshoveli Shipoh of Swim Against the Tide. And that just about wraps up today's edition of the Daily Roundup. We'll be back again tomorrow, same time, same place. From